I just picked up this new hydroponic unit. It's called the Grow Pail, and it's from Black Magic. It's a large unit and well packaged. There's a cardboard box that came around the outside of this, and the inside box is surprisingly well illustrated. It has several graphics on it, and I'll just give you a quick look. Top side tells a little bit about the product as well as the nutrients. It shows what the plant actually looks like as it grows in the unit. And on the back side, it has a nice illustration of the different parts of the product as well as how they go together. I found the unit to be quite eye-appealing. It looks a little bit like a giant dark gumdrop, and it is molded so that there is an inner bucket with an outer shell that goes around it. It's all one piece. On the inside, there's a pump that sits on the bottom. I'll try to give you a little bit closer look at that. And there it is. They've done a very nice job. They put a cover plate over it with screws, as well as where the extension cord for the pump comes across. It's hidden. They have this little pop-off section right here. And the cord from that pump comes all the way up, crosses over, and it comes out the bottom, and that gives you a cleaner look, for your unit if you're using it indoors where other people are going to be seeing it. Now, the bucket inside is 6 gallons, which does quite a nice job. Will grow large plants, or as they have said, you could actually grow 4 plants if you're growing smaller plants. 2 plants, 3 plants, your choice, whatever you like to do. It is a recirculating hydroponic system. And one of the things that I've really enjoyed has been use of AeroGardens. They use a process that's almost identical to the Grow Pail. They recirculate also. They pump up on the bounty models, and then they pour water down over the roots of the plant. Now, with the Grow Pail, there's an insert, and that's upside down right now. And I will come up a little bit closer where you can get a better view of that. It looks like this. And these little circles that you see are where they drop net pots. You can put rock wool cubes or whatever media, grow media you like to have in there. And the tube that you see right here, that is what attaches to the pump inside of that bucket. And it pumps the water up to the top. There's a ring. And so once it gets up to the top here, the water goes around the ring until it gets to here, and there's a stopper. And so that forces the water to come out at each of these plant sites. And so it continuously pumps up and down from the top and helps to oxygenate the water, creates a very healthy, very rapid growing system. The part that I just managed to roll on the floor is a water indicator. And if I flip this, you'll see that there's a white rod that comes up, and that indicates that your water level is where it needs to be. When it drops, all you have to do is just add in additional water to keep it topped off. Real simple to use, and one of the nice features about it is they have a valve on this unit right here. Now, the purpose of that valve is you can turn it the opposite direction, and this black tube that sits inside suddenly becomes the way that you get the water out. You don't have to tip the thing over. All you have to do is put that into a bucket, turn the valve, and off you go. Quick way to do water changes. The top of the product comes in plates, and there are 4 plates. They look like this, and I'll show you everything put together. There are covers, and there are 2-inch net pots, and these are just standard 2-inch net pots. So you use these right now, you can find out that your cloning collars will pop right into those, as well as your grow media. So very simple to use, very easy to put together. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together now. I'm going to start with the insert, and I'm going to make sure this clear tube fits over the pump's output, which points straight up. These plastic pieces that come down from the top actually have grooves that they slide into. So I'm going to insert those into those grooved areas, and it seats all the way down. Now I'll get the tube over the top of that pump, and you could feel it. It's a snug fit as you squeeze it down over. So at that point, it looks like this. The water indicator can go into any of the 4 outer or actually into the 1 inner. It just depends on how you like to do things. If you like to grow one big plant in the middle, you could always set this off over to the side where it's easier to see. And the plates fit in between the rings. Here you can see that this plate just kisses up against that ring on that side. This plate matches up on the other side, and the other 2 plates do the same thing. The covers, if you were not going to use all these planting sites, something you could do is just drop those covers in. The net pot, of course, you'd probably have that planted up before you drop it in. But this arrangement would allow for a medium-sized tomato plant. 2-inch net pot is in the middle, and the covers are here, and the water indicator is on the outside. So all I'd have to do is find a location to put this, add water, add plant food, any hydroponic food source that is available, and plug the unit in. It's a very well designed product. And here you have it. This unit is now set up, and I do have a 100-watt grow light above it. When you plug this in, always try to keep your electrical units up a little bit higher and off the floor in case you ever have any splash. If you're filling it, you don't have to worry about the water possibly getting into the electrical. Take a bucket of water, just completely fill that up. It is 6 gallons. You could add your nutrient. Once you get that upwards full, plug it in, let that nutrient stir up inside of there. The near future, we'll take another look at this unit and do some evaluations about how well it's actually growing plants. One other thing to consider is if the plant needs framing or trellising of any type, there are holes that have been drilled into the top edge of this particular unit that would allow you to slide rods or even a support cage of some kind. And this unit would do quite well at growing plants anywhere from 4 nice sized lettuce heads clear up to maybe like a celebrity tomato plant, a determinate one, which would get up to about 4 feet in height, 3 feet wide. But make sure that if you're going to go that direction, pick out a grow light that's going to cover that size of a plant, which is probably going to be more in a, say, for example, 300-watt LED range. But for dwarf tomato plants, ones that only get about this big and spread out, I would say that a 100-watt LED will do you quite nicely.